Hi, everyone. Welcome to a bonus episode of the Swoon Sister Society. Meanwhile, Colin is falling for her.
She runs the time.
I don't know why Lady Danbury is like, don't go near my friend. I loved it that he's going to help her find a husband. We're going to be talking about the first half of Bridgerton season 3.
I'm super ready for this.
I am so freaking excited.
There's going to be spoilers throughout this whole thing, so just spoiler alert to start.
Yes, if you haven't watched the first 4 episodes, do not watch this episode.
Yes. Okay, so we both read the book, Romancing Mr. Bridgerton.
Yes.
The show is already so much better. Like, I'm sorry, Julia Quinn. The show is already better.
That's the thing about Bridgerton, though, is that the books, it's such a good foundation, but the show is just, they took it and they ran with it. The show is so good.
Yeah, and like, honestly, if we didn't have the show, we wouldn't have so much. We wouldn't have Kate Sharma. We wouldn't have so many situations that arise. So yeah, I'm really...
Yeah. No, they like really deep dive into the other characters and it's just so good. Dude, okay, so beginning of the show, I love watching Penelope's perspective. I love her so much. And I just thought that was really cute. Like right off the bat, like it's gonna be all about her. Like I love that.
1,000%. And I am a Penelope defender. I'm like, girl, you gotta write what you gotta write, like, about these people, because they're jerks. They don't even care about you. They don't even ask you to dance. So like, you know what? Gossip makes the world go round. And
especially in the ton.
No, especially, like, come on, she literally runs the ton. Like, the queen freaking wishes.
The queen wishes. It's crazy. And she's the most unlikely of anyone to be running the ton, but she literally does. So yeah. Queen energy.
Love her.
The other like first thought I had not much happens in the first episode, but I really love seeing Kate and Violet just like getting along.
Oh gosh, I was gonna mention that. I love that moment that Violet tells Kate, oh, I'm gonna go to my dowager house soon. Like, I'm so sorry, it's just a lot to deal with having 2 women out in society. And Kate's like, and I'm happy to have you around. They're so cute. Also, my favorite characters are Lady Bridgerton. Well, now Lady Bridgerton's somebody else, but you know who I'm talking about. The mom, Lady Danbury, and the queen. They're so good.
They are so good. They are the best trio. And having the background now of Queen Charlotte just makes me appreciate them so much more. Because I did not appreciate them in season 1 and season 2.
Yeah. Like, they're definitely side characters. And then you get a little bit of, like, more of their story and more of their relationships in Queen Charlotte. Like, I love Lady Danbury and Violet's relationship in Queen Charlotte. It's so freaking cute.
So cute. I actually, like, love Violet so much. I wrote it down. Like, Violet is just such a freaking precious person. I love her. And she just wants her kids to be happy. And she's just so genuine. And I want her to find a second love. Like, I would love that arc. I would love watching that.
Oh, and it's going to be saucy because now it's going to be with Lady Danbury's brother, who we don't know the whole story, but apparently there's some sort of beef between them.
I don't know why they don't like each other. I don't know why Lady Danbury is like, don't go near my friend. I don't know. We'll see.
I know, but that definitely means it's going to work out between them, like 1,000%.
Yeah. I also loved watching Kate and Anthony interact at the beginning of this season.
Stop, because they are my favorite. Like, I'm sorry, but they make me weak. No, the scene where they were in the bed, I was weak. And then when they're talking, and then all of us, the chemistry between those two is insane. Yeah. Both of the actors, like, oh God, they cast so right for them too. And I'm so glad we get to see them now actually enjoy themselves, because in the second season, it was all build up until like the last episode. So we finally get to see them just be happy and live their lives. I'm like, thank God. I needed peace for you two.
Agreed. I needed like to see that happily ever after because we did not get it in their season. And
No.
they were so cute. Even, well, you said the bed scene, which was adorable, but I I love seeing them at the ball when they were dancing and then they kiss in front of everyone. Like, so cute.
Yes, they're the it couple. Like, I'm sorry. And also, like, okay, so I watched Bridgerton, like the newest season, the day it came out. I had like a little watch party with me, like my neighbor who's also like best friend, and my mom and her mom. And let me tell you, like, we were around the moms, and I was looking around because I was like, I'm getting hot and bothered. Like, oh God. It was so good. Their scenes were so good.
Their scenes were really good. Dude, and okay, let's just talk about Penelope's like Cinderella entrance because it was amazing.
Okay, but can we talk about the fact
Go.
that for the past 2 seasons, bro, I never want to see a yellow dress again in my life.
Yeah.
Or a green or a citrus color. She even says like no
She
more
says
citrus
it.
colors. Because
Yeah.
and they explain this a lot more in the book, how her mother has been dressing her this whole time. And she's finally at that age where she's been around a few seasons. Nobody's knocking at her door. Nobody's calling upon her to be her husband. She's like, you know what? Whatever. I'm gonna just wear what I want now. Like, I'm gonna attract a husband. I'm gonna attract a man.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Actually, in the book, she's already a spinster.
Yes. Like way more.
Like way more. The book is so much further into the future. Like, she's out of the market. She still goes to the balls, obviously, because she's in society, but she's already a spinster. So in the book, she's kind of like, fuck this. I'm gonna dress myself however I want. And it's the best. I love it. I love that she starts to like love herself. I do.
Honestly, I love a makeover moment though, like very Princess Diaries, that we had that moment for her of like her being like, change the hair, change it, and then when she comes out in that dark green ensemble, she looks good. And I think it's Nicola Coughlan is her name.
Yeah.
The main.
Yeah.
She's so gorgeous.
She
they
is...
finally did her right in this season.
I was gonna say they were doing her. Well, they do all the Featheringtons dirty. Like, they're beautiful women. I know, but they're like beautiful women, and like when they make this girl over, I'm like, oh my God, she is gorgeous.
The way they do her eye makeup, her eyes are so beautiful. Like, dude, I would fall in love with her. Like, forget about Colin.
No, and then he like it stops him in his tracks. He looks over. You get that like that Cinderella story moment, like Chad Michael Murray looking at Hilary Duff walking down the stairs. It's that moment.
Yes, and I was so happy for her because Colin, from the beginning of the season, so we all know the season starts off with him coming back from his travels, and he came back a certified F-boy, like, for real.
Yeah.
Like, fuckity is the fuck boys. Like, I can't. And like the first few scenes with him, like talking to the ladies where he's like, oh, I'll tell you about my travels, but then I'd have to wed you or whatever. And like he's like winking at bitches. I'm like, sir, who
are you? Yeah, like, this is not Colin. Colin is like the little simp who wanted to marry a woman just out of talking to her twice. Like, that's Colin.
Yeah.
I don't know who this man is.
Which I love, like, when they're all in the carriage with Colin,
the brothers,
and Benedict, and he's like, what happened? Benedict's like, when did you get so sturdy? And I'm like, I was asking the same damn thing. You got sturdy as hell, my boy. Like, he looks
so good. There is something online that people say, like, there's something in the water on the Bridgerton set, because when it's your season, the men just exponentially get hotter.
No, definitely. And they definitely do it intentionally.
It was just like first episode, 5 stars. So good. And, dude, the one thing I don't like is that Eloise and Penelope are like not friends. Like, they're not talking.
But
I
we
hate
needed
that.
some sort of, I know, because it's like annoying. Like, I just want them to be friends again. Like, what is she doing with Miss Cowper?
I mean, she's terrible, but then I kind of start to like her towards the end.
You're supposed to, but still, like, I can't. I
just like Penelope and Eloise. This is another deviation from the book. They don't have a falling out in the book. Actually, Eloise is very supportive. So it's just like, I don't know. I'm here for it, but I needed to get resolved.
Penelope first meets Asuta after she looks so hot.
That's right.
And then why is she so awkward when she goes to the ball? Like
her awkward. Wait. The part where she is looking so good. She just walked into the ball, and these 3 men come up to her. And they're like, oh, hello, Penelope, Miss Featherington. You look so lovely in that dress. And she goes, you too. Like, that's me. That's so relatable. It's like when someone tells you happy birthday and you're like, yeah, you too.
Yeah, and then I feel like that the Lord Debling, he's a cutie.
He's super cute.
Super cute. Then they kind of have a little moment, which was awesome because we needed somebody for Colin to be jealous of.
Yes.
Definitely. And then when she leaves the ball and Colin goes after her and he has the audacity.
The audacity. To be
like, I've been writing you. You haven't written back. I missed you. And then she comes at him with, you're the one who said I would never court Penelope Featherington. So like, and it's so fucked up because he is using her to do everything that he would do with a wife, like talk through his emotional stuff, like go through his baggage, but he doesn't want to court her because he's scared of what people would think. Like, I hate that. Oh, yeah. Colin's such a little... He's just so annoying to me.
I hate that too, but I love that she stood up to him. Like, finally.
She needed to. And I love that she's not giving him the time of day. Like, at the first event of the season before this, she's like wearing the yellow dress. Mm-hmm. And he goes up to her and he tries to talk to her. And she's like, yes, things have changed. Time moves by very quickly. Bye. And she needed to. She needed to ignore his ass because he deserved it.
I agree. He does deserve it. And you're totally right. Like, the last 2 seasons, like, he's just been trying to use Penelope as, like, an emotional girlfriend or wife, but not an actual wife. It's, like, not right. And
it's like when a guy tells you, like, oh, no, I'm not ready for a relationship. I don't want to be official. But then every time they have a minor inconvenience, they call you and expect you to be their rock. I'm like, goodbye.
No. Goodbye.
You're trash. Which is how I feel about Colin until obviously.
Well, there are like certain he has to like, you know, evolve. We had to see him start from the bottom and go up. But I actually kind of love, this is another deviation, but I loved it, that he's going to help her find a husband and he's going to give her lessons.
Okay, so the whole like him helping her find a husband and like giving her lessons thing was so needed, because like when I think about the book, I'm like, there honestly weren't enough plot points to make a whole TV season out of it. Yeah. So that's like when the writers of Bridgerton, like Shonda Rhimes, whatever you're doing it right, because it really, really works. And it was giving the Duff or like one of those kinds of movies. Yes. But like, I just hate that Penelope is so down on. Like, she's a baddie. Like, why doesn't anyone see it? She's gorge. She's Nicola Coughlan. She has baby blue eyes. And she looks like a doll. Like, how is she not popular? It bothers me so much. It's like that thing in like every like 2000s movie where it's like the girl is so ugly, but it's just because she's wearing glasses and a ponytail. And I'm like, she's obviously gorgeous. What?
Yes. It's that. It's literally that. It's literally that. Yes. I mean, again, like when he's helping her and he takes her to those guys and he's like, let's see how you flirt or how you act. And she goes, splendid weather.
She's so funny. And the actress has really good like comedic skills and timing from other projects she's been in. I've seen that, and I feel like we don't get as much of that in Bridgerton, so I'm so glad like now in her season she's able to, you know, do all those things. She brings the comedy, she brings the sultriness, she brings the romance, the drama. Like, she is amazing. I'm so happy she's leading this season.
Oh my god, me too. And I'm kind of glad that they went out of order and that they're doing like Colin and Penelope now, because I was ready for it. It's so good.
Everybody was. It was a good choice.
It was. So now we're getting to see Francesca, who I love also.
Yes, she is a literal Disney princess. She's so gorgeous and she's so awkward and cute. I feel her.
I love how introverted she has her one passion and that's it. And she's so passionate about it. And she's talented. Like, she's clearly like a musical genius of some sort. And like, that's all she likes and that's all she wants to talk about. And she's just so unlike the other Bridgertons. I'm interested to see more of her. I like her a lot.
I'm really excited to see more. And I purposefully haven't read the books of like the other couples.
Yeah.
I want to see how it goes in the show.
Honestly, like I read this book. I read Penelope and Colin's book because I was so sick of waiting for this to come out and I needed something. But having read the book and watching the show, it's a different experience than season 1 and 2 where I hadn't read the book. And I think you're right. I think I'm going to hold off on reading the books until after I watch the show.
Honestly, something that really surprised me was, and this is like at the end, but the carriage scene in the book. The carriage scene happens. This is like major spoilers. The carriage scene happens right after he finds out that she's Lady Whistledown. And she's on her way like back from distributing her copies of like the latest issue of Whistledown. Yeah. And Colin sees her, finds out she's Whistledown. He's like kind of mad and confused. And it's like this frustrating moment. And then they do it in the carriage. So it's like he's obviously mad at her, but he's still like passionate about her. But in this, he does it with her in the carriage, but he doesn't know she's Whistledown yet.
I know. And then he asks her to marry him, which, spoiler alert, also happens in the book. But he knows that she's Whistledown before they get married. And I don't know what the heck is going to happen now because he doesn't know. I mean, like, again, spoiler alert if you didn't watch the trailer for the next 4 episodes, Louise kind of gives Penelope an ultimatum and she's like, you have to tell him by midnight or I'm going to tell him. I just don't know if they're married or not at that point.
Dude, it's going to be so awkward and her moving into the Bridgerton house, doing all the marriage stuff and Eloise still hates her. I'm like, but it makes for good TV. I want to know what is going to happen.
Oh, when she goes to Bridgerton house for the lesson and she's like practicing her flirting on Colin.
Mm-hmm. And this, I think, does happen in the book.
It does happen in the book. Oh. And he does cut his hand and they do have a moment. It's just like all these little moments where like, I think Penelope is kind of in her mind, like this thing with Colin, it's never going to happen. It's something so unimaginable. It'll never happen. And then meanwhile, Colin is falling for her.
Yeah.
Over all these small moments. Anyway, but in that room, I like wrote this quote down because I laughed when he said it. She was like, oh, am I meant to practice on the imaginary gentleman standing over there? And Colin's like, no, you practice on me. And she's like, appalled. She's like, I can't practice on you, Colin. And he's like, I'm the perfect person to practice on. I love that part.
And then when she tells him like, your eyes are such a remarkable shade of blue, and he's like, he was like, okay, that's a little intense.
He's like, that was rather direct. Dude, whenever I watch a season of Bridgerton, I binge it and I start talking like them. I'll be like to my husband, like, you must make haste. But yeah, so okay, so then their first kiss happens because everyone finds out that Colin was helping Penelope, and it's like this big gossip story, right? Like, how could Colin help Penelope? She's so hopeless of finding a husband.
Which is like honestly so unnecessary. Like, why is it such a big scandal? Like,
I don't know. Sometimes things are scandals in Bridgerton and I'm just like, wow, like that's crazy.
Like, why? Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, it's a big scandal. And I love how like protective Colin gets of Penelope. And he goes that night to see Penelope. It's like one of the best scenes. It happens in the book too. She does ask him to kiss her. And she says it kind of the same way. She's like, if I die tomorrow. And Colin tries to laugh her off. He's like, you're not going to die. And then he realizes that she's serious. Like, this is a big fear for her. Like, she actually thinks like she's going to die and never be kissed.
Yeah. It like pains me so much because I was like, I hate that she has to beg for her first kiss. Like, I wanted him to want it and all that stuff, and then they fixed it
No,
immediately with
immediately.
the next episode. It starts with a dream where Colin, when Colin's telling Penelope like, goodness, like I haven't been able to stop thinking about you since our last kiss, and like in everybody's mind we think that it's Penelope's dream, and then
Yes.
when you see Colin waking up, that was so good. That got me hot and bothered. I was like, freaking finally we know what's going on in this man's mind. Like, oh god, so good.
Loved. You're so right. Like, she had to beg for it, but the kiss was good. Well, you can tell that it was just going to be one little, like, quick kiss, and Colin got a little into it. Colin got into
Yes,
it.
it went
So
on
it
a
was,
little too long. Yeah,
yeah,
that was so cute.
it was so freaking cute. Okay, wait. We need to discuss also Benedict in this season. I
I
have not
know.
I have not liked him in any of the other seasons, and in this season, first of all, his girl or that girl that he's
I
talking to,
know. I know.
I like her, and I don't know who they're doing next, but it's definitely Benedict or Francesca. They're setting up for both of them. I don't know
Yes,
who it
but the
is.
thing is, so Benedict's book, I actually did read Benedict's book. It's right, actually, it's
What
right
a
here.
liar!
I did. I'm sorry. But
Huh.
spoiler alert, Benedict's book is basically a Cinderella retelling. And I feel like for the show, like Penelope's story is a little bit of a Cinderella retelling
Yeah,
already. She has the
yeah,
two sisters, she has the mom who's mean, she has her moment where she's going down the stairs and she has a transformation, she looks beautiful. Like she has
yeah.
all that going on. So I'm like, it would be so extra if like they did that all over again because it's like a lot of the same things that are basically happening in
Interesting.
Benedict's book. Which is like so random because like all none of these books have anything to do with anything, and then they just randomly like threw a Cinderella retelling in there, and I'm like, why? But I really, really want them to change Benedict's story, and I think that they will. And I don't
Yeah,
know if he's going to end up with the lady that he ends up with in the show, but I will say that Benedict in the show is so much better of a likable character than in the books. Like I can't freaking stand him in the books.
damn.
He's like kind of machismo and like kind of like
Oh, I don't like that.
yeah, like
I mean, I honestly didn't like Benedict in season 1 or 2, but this season I was like,
oh, I
oh,
did.
okay. He was okay.
I liked him the whole time. He was like that artist type.
Okay, Lady Featherington. Justice for Lady Featherington a little bit. I kind of like her. She's smart.
The woman who plays Lady Featherington is amazing. Her
She's
comedic
fantastic.
timing, her acting, like she is Lady Featherington. Like I love her.
No, she is so, so good. Like, she comes off as mean and like she doesn't care about her daughters, but she does.
Yeah.
She's smart. She knows how the Ton works, and she knows how to put them in a like good positions when they're really not in the best position. Like the Featheringtons are not that respected, you know?
Yeah. And like that's like the whole series that's like their thing is that they live across from the Bridgertons. They're like the anti Bridgertons almost because they're
Exactly.
tacky, not respected. I think Philippa and her husband are so cute, and I thought they were cute this whole time. Like, I think it's in season 1 or season 2 when they like bond over cheese.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that
And
yeah.
they always like are laughing and enjoying each other's company. Like I think they're genuinely in love, and I'm like, this is kind of a cute little love story.
They are cute. Yeah. Yeah, it's a cute little side love story. I like it. When Lady Featherington has the conversation with her girls about, getting busy with their men to make heirs, and she's literally like, when the man inserts himself, and Philippa's like, inserts himself? Inserts himself where? I was like, damn, girl.
Like, what are you doing?
And then she's like, he doesn't even take his pants off.
They're just going on a drive. Honestly, respect. Like she's probably having a good time. She's
It's
gonna
it's not her fault.
no, she
Like,
doesn't know better.
right. Right.
Dude, it's just like how Daphne didn't know that the Duke was pulling out every time.
Right. Exactly. God, we had another dance interruption.
A dance interruption. Yes, we did. Oh,
Yeah.
when Colin interrupts Penelope and Lord
Debling.
I'm sorry, like Debling, Banbury, whatever. There's too many of these. When Colin interrupts Penelope and Lord Debling, stops them mid dance, and has to talk to Penelope, this man just couldn't wait. He couldn't even wait, and
yeah. And he's like, you cannot marry him. It's like, bro, why? Why can't she marry him?
What's her other option? You?
I mean, yeah, that's what he wants.
I mean, that's what the season ends with.
I love when she runs away and he runs after her. Like, I know it's not the way it happened in the book, but it was freaking perfect. It was so good.
Sometimes you need to make things cinematic, though, and they did a great job.
Yeah.
Everything looks so beautiful.
Sir Mondrich. I think they say Mondrich.
Okay.
But anyway, yes, the boxer, they're cute. I think they're going to get used to it. We'll see.
They are cute, and honestly, like, when she has to wear that ugly dress with the diamonds, she eats that look up. Like, it's an ugly dress, but she looks good.
She does look good. She does. Okay, so do we want to talk about some songs that remind us of Colin and Penelope?
Yes.
Because I have a good one.
What's yours?
Guilty as Sin by Taylor Swift.
Ah! It's all in my head. It really... But you know what? Whose head it's all in?
Colin's! That's what I'm saying! It's in both of their heads. It goes both ways.
Guilty as Sin is so accurate. And also, Penelope's Guilty as Sin. That's a really good one. For me, I think they use Wildest Dreams with them too. Like the instrumental version.
Yeah.
Which is good. And there's a song, Are We Still Friends by Tyler the Creator. They use it, you know where they use it in The Summer I Turn Pretty? When Jeremiah and Belly have their first kiss. And it's like, can they be friends? Are they still friends? No, they're more. They're lovers. They're lovers. It's so funny. I was looking up Penelope and Colin like playlists and like little Bridgerton like playlists. Like not the playlist from the actual show, but fan-made playlists that are songs that remind people of them. Bro,
yeah,
it's just Taylor Swift, Taylor Swift, Taylor Swift, Taylor Swift, Swift.
Honestly, though, people that watch Bridgerton love Taylor Swift and read romance novels for the most part.
We're all the same breed.
We're all the same breed of women. So, you know, I don't know. Do we want to do most swoon-worthy moment in the first 4 episodes? In front of me. So actually, I'm going to pick their first kiss. And the reason I want to pick that is because I just felt like, yes, Penelope begged for it, but the actor who plays Colin, like you can see it in his face when he realizes she's not kidding. Like I tried to make light of it, but she's not kidding. This is a real fear of hers. And Penelope really is like his best friend. Yeah. And you can just tell that he has a moment where he's like, I'll do anything to make her happy, because in that moment it's because she's my best friend. Yeah. But when he kisses her, it's just like fireworks. Yeah. And I love that. Yeah. And in that moment I'm just like, okay, no, he really like he cares about her a lot. Like a lot.
Like I love when he tells her, Penelope Featherington, don't you forget that. Because he really does see like all the aspects of her. He loves her for who she is. He just doesn't want to admit it to himself. So my first swoon-worthy moment was when he wakes up from that hot dream about Penelope. And you find out, like, this is what's going on in his head. Like, he is feral for Penelope. And, like, we see it for the first time. And you think it's her dream. But it's him. And that's what's really going on in his head. Then the rest of the season, every time he's, like, watching her dance with Lord Debling or have a moment with anyone else, like, you can see it in his eyes. Like, oh, lust, the pining. Yeah. Like, and it finally is coming from him. I love that.
Awesome one. Awesome one. Well, I guess we'll meet in a month to discuss the last 4 episodes.
Do you have any predictions for how it's gonna...
Oh my god. The one thing that I hope they don't do, honestly, is I hope that when Colin finds out that Penelope is Lady Whistledown, that he doesn't get mad. Or if he gets mad, it doesn't last long.
He's gonna get mad. Like 1,000%.
And I want her and Eloise to reconnect. And then everyone has to find out that she's Lady Whistledown. I think that's the last episode. The last episode is literally like titled Coming Into the Light. I think it's going to be Penelope coming into the light as
My
Lady Whistledown.
prediction. So you know how the queen's looking for a diamond,
Uh-huh.
and she hasn't picked one. But Penelope's sparkling this season, so I think the queen is gonna go off and pick Penelope, not knowing that Penelope is her enemy, Lady Whistledown. And so she's gonna pick Penelope as her diamond, and then everyone's gonna find out that Penelope's actually Lady Whistledown. It's gonna be a huge scandal. I think Eloise is gonna be the first to forgive Penelope and talk Colin into her back.
That is so good. I hope that happens.
Me too. I guess we'll see. We'll see in a month.
We'll see. So thank you so much for joining us for this bonus episode of the Swoon Sister Society, the podcast where two sisters discuss the swooniest moments in books, movies, TV shows, and real life. See you next